Follow us on Twitter at 90s Percentile. And if you'd like more content from WEE Studios, check us out at weepodcast.com, WEE podcast.com, where you can find our Simpsons podcast, Worst Episode Ever, and our movie commentary series, Sync Points.
And if you want to support the show, you can help us out by clicking our Amazon links. That's at weepodcast.com. You click the links and shop like you normally would, and we get a small percentage.
Thanks, guys.
This episode of 90s Percentile is brought to you by our friends at Jock.com. That's JOQ.com. Jack, do you remember Reboot?
Of course I do. The CGI ABC cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
About little zeros and ones living inside the mainframe.
Bob the Guardian. Hopefully one day we'll talk about it on our actual show. Yeah. But here, if you remember Reboot and you need someone to go into your computer and just make awesome shit, Jock.com is the one you need to go to.
Yeah.
It's JOQ.com. They are going to make all of your websites, all of your apps, anything you need in the digital realm.
Now,
are you the user?
We're just advertisers, so I don't know if we can really speak from the top of Jock.com's chain of command. I think we're more near the bottom.
No.
We're not a part of it at all.
They've given us free reign.
Are you suggesting that if they fail, if they can't quite make their mission work, they char up and die like the ones and zeros in Reboot?
That is exactly what I'm saying. So you guys, if you need any help with your digital business solutions, talk to Jock.com.
Or they will perform digital Sudoku. Sudoku?
Sudoku.
Seppuku.
Sudoku is a game. It's very different than killing yourself.
Well, good. I don't want to have them commit to anything as serious ritual suicide. So you know what? If they fail, they will do a digital Sudoku.
They will, because if they have no business, they're just going to sit around playing,
trying to get the
games,
nines and
getting
eights.
those nines in. But the ones and zeros, they are experts. Jock.com, and we thank them for sponsoring today's show.
60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of WEE Studios. This is 90s Percentile. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and today we have our buddy Geoff is with us in studio today, and we're talking about your 90s topics. Our first topic, this very show. We're going to tell you what the hell is this show.
What is going on?
What are we doing
here? Why are we here?
So you may know us from Worst Episode Ever, a Simpsons podcast that that Jack and I host. If you do, thank you for listening to this show. Oh, good. Geoff, have you heard of Worst Episode Ever?
I believe I do.
You've been on it. Maybe at this point. I don't know if anyone will hear this.
I was on the drunken episode.
That's true. You were in a traffic jam.
He was in the peanut gallery.
So this show is a little bit different than that show. What we're doing here is we want to hear your 90s topics. And you submit your topics on our website, and we're just going to talk about those topics and see where they take us. And we have a timer that's already running. We're already at 59 minutes and 12 seconds. And once that timer hits 0, that's going to be the end of the show.
So we're just going to talk about as many topics as we can under that clock. If we run out of things to say, we'll just pull a new topic. Right?
So we're talking about 90s things, yeah. And we got a list of topics here, and we're just going to go through them. When we get sick of talking about one, we're going to do another one. So
I get it. It seems simple to me.
Well,
Jeff,
we came up with the concept. If Jeff understands, then we know that people will.
Jeff, do you think the first line of the show should be 60 minutes on the clock or 60 minutes are on the clock?
Hey, reasonable minds can differ on that one.
I'd go with the R.
Oh.
Well, so did we.
But
so.
he also does. But he also.
I think you cleaned it up very nicely, and I think it works well.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. That's why
you're the first guest.
Jeff's here.
Assuming this is the first show. It may not be. This might be episode 79. I don't know. We're recording all of them and releasing them in a crazy
such
order.
an utter disaster that nobody will ever hear this.
Yes. It seems like we're heading in that direction already.
All right.
Okay,
Man,
so
that clock is really just...
It's just in our faces. I feel like we're living in 24, which started in 2000, so we don't want to talk about it right now.
Because then, we'd just pretty much be dead, because none of us are Jack Bauer or Chloe. So
well, we got Jack, but not Jack Bauer.
Not Jack Bauer. So one of us is going to
Jeff is sort of like Chloe. He's a computer guy.
I'd like to think...
Hey, I'm the daughter. I'm just going to, get whacked in season 1 or whatever. I don't know where she got killed.
She never got whacked.
She got
Not
whacked.
The Sopranos.
She got Tony and the boys. They came in and they whacked her.
The famous 24 Sopranos crossover.
Which, is that our first topic? The famous 24 Sopranos?
Woke up
Highly
this
controversial.
morning.
Dude.
Chloe, big pussy, get over here, quick.
I don't know, Jack Bauer. I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Actually, Bauer does kind of make those sounds.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, it only says damn it.
Yeah. All right, so what is our actual first topic?
Wait, that wasn't it?
Well, that was sort of...
Sopranos started in 1999, it counts?
It did, that counts, it does count.
Right. So, from our random topic generator...
Yes.
All right, here we go. I'm just randomly picking one.
Randomly from our list of pre-listener topic suggestions. What do we got, Jack?
Netscape.
Netscape. Netscape Navigator.
Now, is that a browser?
That is a browser. So in I want to say 95, Netscape. This is very highly researched by me. Netscape,
By the way, there's so many people right now going, thank God I downloaded this podcast. I really, on my way to work, I wanted to know, what are three non-experts going to say about Netscape?
well, here's what we're going to say.
It's always comforting, too, when the first sentence is, what is Netscape? Is that a browser? What is that?
No, it is. So Netscape, it was a really big deal at the time. In 95, it was like the first .com IPO that went public because Netscape was going to be, it wasn't the first internet browser, but it was the first, like, independent browser, I guess.
So anybody could use, so most people are using, it's 1995, most people are either using Windows.
I mean, most people aren't using the internet at that point.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even know if Internet Explorer was around. Maybe Netscape was the first.
Internet
Before that, it could have
Internet
just been like
Explorer's
AOL.
Bill Gates. This is a good topic for Jeff since he actually works with
Jeff
computers.
knows
Yes,
computer
I've been
stuff.
working all through the 90s.
Jeff
on
actually
computers.
founded Netscape
And this is such a great coincidence.
when he was 11 years old.
Jeff's last name is Netscape. It's just Jeff Netscape.
Jeff Netscape, happy to have you here.
It's a little egotistic to name
It
the
is.
browser after yourself. But
That's really the only big thing I remember about Netscape is that they had like a big IPO and it was a really big deal. I don't know if you ever read the book The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman.
it's not, it's round.
Wow, Thomas Friedman would disagree with you, Jack.
No, although it's...
That was like, it's about like different touchstones that changed the world.
Hot, Flat, and Crowded, too?
Yes, he did.
Because I
didn't
have
read
that
one.
book on my shelf. It's been years. It was on my Amazon wish list, so my mom gave it to me. You know, she just
Oh,
picked
nice, yeah.
random books, but it was like, I just put it on there as like a reminder to maybe one day read it. I
Yeah.
didn't really want it. So it's just been sitting on my shelf collecting dust. But that's Friedman, too?
Yeah, it is. Well, for a second...
Anyway, so I didn't read that, and I didn't read the one you were talking about.
When you said, oh, didn't he write hot? I for some reason thought you were going to say, didn't he write hot fudge? I was going to say, no, he did not.
Oh, what is that? Is that...
I don't know. Maybe it's not anything. It sounds like an
it
erotica
sounds like
novel.
a Judy Blume.
That was Super
Hot
Fudge, my friend.
All right.
Which came out in the 90s. So
It was
maybe that'll be a topic.
You didn't
in
read
future.
the erotica like Twilight version of Super Fudge called Hot Fudge?
I mean, I wrote it, actually. I'm Thomas Friedman.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I'm horny.
Aw.
Oh dear.
So this first episode's off to a great start. The timer is very intimidating.
It's funny because you're facing it.
I'm
not,
trying.
I'm just looking
I
at
think I'm
you.
gonna turn away
Yeah,
from
just-
it. It's
just-
kind of freaking me out.
Jeff,
I have
Jeff can't
no
see it.
concept
Actually,
of the
Jeff
timer.
can kind of see it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know that I have anything else to say
No.
about
So
Netscape.
wait. Jeff, you were gonna say something. You said it was.
Jeff made a face that looked like he was not gonna say something.
Wait. So first IPO. Oh no, we were talking about how if there were any browsers around at the time.
Yeah, I don't think that there were. I think Internet Explorer was coming around that time. I feel like it was bundled with Windows 95.
I would think so because Internet Explorer is Microsoft, right?
It is, yeah.
I thought Prodigy was like the first browser.
Well, but that was different
That
because
was more of a service.
Prodigy and AOL and
Smack my
CompuServe.
bitch.
Yeah, they were. Starting off with loud noises and
We
yelling.
can't cut all that. We can't cut that. I'm
Just
sorry.
what our fans of Worst Episode Ever have come to love.
Dan yelling into the microphone. We're
So he
famous.
does it again.
I'll do it every time you bring it up.
Turn Dan's mic down.
But no, Netscape was different from like Prodigy or AOL. Those were actually internet service providers where like you were getting your internet from AOL, where like now you get it from
Right.
like Time Warner or Verizon or like a cable company. They were actually supplying it through the phone lines. They had their own browser, I'm sure, but Netscape was like. I'm trying to remember why it was such a big deal. I mean,
remember-
I was 10 years old when this actually happened, but I did actually study this a little bit in college.
I remember using it. I'm guessing it had to have been, I guess, in high school on our computers, the school computers.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the internet growing up, and when I did finally get it, I'm pretty sure I used Internet Explorer. But
Yeah.
I do remember using Netscape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should probably say a little bit about ourselves if people are just listening to this for the first time. Like you said, you didn't have internet when you were growing up. That's because it didn't exist until we were.
They know who we
were
are.
10 years old.
They can Google us. I'm
Right.
everywhere. We were just having a conversation before we were recording.
Yeah.
How like I was just like, Edward Snowden, like with the wiretapping, they can listen. I don't know that.
That's true. You were saying that.
Oh, you were saying you turned off your
The Siri equivalent on Android is Google Now, which is you can just say okay Google and then it pops up.
Yeah, and mine does that now. Hey Siri
Yeah.
is called, where now I don't have to hit a button. Siri's just always listening. So.
Oh, so Siri's listening to us right now?
Yeah, where is my?
Hey Siri.
Where's my?
Penises.
I don't. Why are you talking to my Xbox controller? I don't know where my phone is.
I did kind of just assume.
Is that it?
I couldn't see your phone.
Yeah, no. So now the new iPhone
Does it have
6S
penises on it?
says "Hey Siri," so I don't have to hit the button. I just go, and I have the male British voice on right now. I'm gonna change it. I hate it, but
Okay.
so don't judge me. But yeah, so "Hey Siri," what's the '90s like? Well, usually it works, but
That was thrilling
it wasn't
podcasting.
working before. I think since I did my update, my iOS update, I think it stopped working.
Okay.
Anyway, so that it listens all the time, basically.
Yes, and you're saying that that's fine. You're okay
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
like whatever.
like
Obviously,
battery depth
obviously,
to
it's
me.
not here.
Yeah.
You would think so, but it
It's
doesn't.
pretty. Yeah, it's pretty. I think it only when
passive.
it picks up something, then it turns on. I don't know how that works, but
So how does it pick up something if it's not on?
So it's-
whoa.
Glad we got our
You
computer
just blew my
expert.
mind.
Jeff Netscape doesn't.
Jeffrey
he's
Netscape.
not Jeff's smartphone.
Well, Netscape doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone. It's defunct.
It is, but it kind of the people who made it became Mozilla, and they created Firefox, and they're a whole separate company now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Firefox is Netscape.
Firefox is the descendant
son of Netscape?
Son of Netscape, Firefox. Yeah.
I used to love Firefox.
I used to love Firefox,
I got
too.
a Mac for the first time 11 years ago. And I was told to use Firefox because Safari,
Safari's
the
no
native
good.
app, apparently like Apple was still kind of rare enough where there was a lot of plugins or websites that wouldn't work, and
Yeah.
I was told Firefox was the way to go. But now that Apple just rules the world, Safari is fine, so I don't actually use Firefox anymore. But I hear it's
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
I still use it.
I did use it. I switched to Google Chrome. I haven't looked back.
I've
but
wanted to.
I think you
Yeah.
should. I think Google Chrome is trash.
Well,
I-
it's funny you use Chrome
well-
because you're so privacy oriented. You don't want them listening in, but Chrome
You're
looks at
right.
all your weird porn.
Well, not all of my weird porn. I
Just
use
the weirdest
Firefox
porn.
for the weirdest stuff. But no, I'm personally very tapped into the Google ecosystem, so it works with my phone. And I
Right,
have
right,
a bunch
right.
of apps that are between my phone and my computer.
I'm doing it so wrong.
I have a Chromebook. It's
Yeah,
right
no,
here.
I'm doing it so wrong because I'm torn between Google and Apple. And I just, fans of the Simpsons podcast might know, back in October, I finally got a smartphone. I'm
Yep.
31 years old. I finally got a smartphone in 2015. And I was really torn over what to get, Apple or Android, because I have all Apple computers. I have an iPod, and I have
Right.
lots of iOS apps on my iPod already that will transfer over to the iPhone.
Yeah.
But I also, they push...
You use Gmail.
I use Gmail
yeah.
and I use Google Calendar. I like them a lot better than iCal and the mail app on the phone. So
Right.
I'm really got my foot in both, and you really should. The best way is to commit to one, so they all sync.
Right, that's what they want you to do.
Well, it makes your life easier to just pick one.
It does,
They
and-
communicate better.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
doing
the
it
point.
wrong
You sacrifice security for convenience.
Right.
with Google. Apple's actually super stringent
I'd say
now,
with
right?
both.
With security.
I would agree with both. I like Google because I think they're a little bit more open. Android is it's a platform that's, what's the word for it? Freeware, I guess.
Open
It's
source.
open source. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Whereas Apple iOS is very much
Right.
closed. It's what you have to use,
Now-
what we say you can use. It's very, very
In the way we
heavily
say it.
regulated. Yeah,
But
exactly.
now
That's
I'm
what I
out,
never
I'm out of
liked.
my element. I
Never.
really am not a tech guy. But from what I heard, I was talking to a big Apple pusher. Sounds like a
like a very large man pushing apples.
Hey, you get Apple. No, so I was guy at work. I was talking to him about getting a smartphone. And I had a lot of questions, and he's an Apple expert.
Yeah.
And he says the closed source nature of Apple is one of its strengths in that you don't have
Yes.
to worry about shitty apps and stuff because
Well, that's like what Jeff was saying. You're getting security. You know everything is going to work, but you have no choice. You have to use GarageBand. You have to use
But is
iTunes.
that so bad? Well, it sucks.
Well,
that iTunes is terrible.
I hated iTunes. That was why I really grew to
When
dislike
I
Apple.
first got iTunes, back in 2004, 2005, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This has made listening to music so more convenient and organized.
Yeah.
But ever since then, it's just gotten so convoluted and
yeah.
complicated.
Well, now everyone just streams everything anyway.
I don't. I still go.
Well, everyone who's not Jack just streams. And right, Jeff? Everyone else.
I don't like.
We're streaming stuff.
I don't like
Let's have
streaming.
a conversation
Sorry,
without
Dan, you're
Jack.
alone here.
Oh, I'm alone. I'll talk to myself. Hey, Dan, do you like streaming
All right,
music?
right, so you
What you doing, Dan?
so on this topic then, how do you guys feel about the cloud? For instance, I try not to use the cloud for anything. I store everything on backup hard drives.
I use the cloud for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that you were so anti-private or anti-privacy, pro-sharing. I guess
it's not even a privacy
And yet
concern.
you
I'm
don't
not
share
worried
anything.
about. I'm not worried about fappening, releasing nude Jack Bacone pics anytime soon.
Well, you release them freely on
Exactly.
your website,
It's
newjackbaconepics.org.
the wallpaper to
Yeah.
my personal website.
Absolutely.
But,
Of course, it's a .org. It's a nonprofit.
my balls are organized.
I hope they are.
One's on the left, one's on
Most
the
people's
right.
balls are organized.
They're just disorganized balls.
Now, is that an actual medical term? Disorganized balls?
Yeah.
One's like in your hand and one's on your forehead. Those are some pretty disorganized balls.
My point is, I don't want the cloud because I'm more concerned that the stuff's not in my house anymore.
Yeah.
If it's gone, if there's nothing I can do, it's like out of my hands.
Right, but that's exactly why you should use the cloud. It's backed up someplace else, so if something happens to your laptop, all your hard drives fail you.
Right,
you
and that's
could get
why
it
if
from
I had the
somewhere
money,
else.
I would keep a backup hard drive in a safe deposit box or keep it with my sister's house,
No,
so a
that's
separate place.
not a good idea.
But what if a certain...
Hard drives fail.
But so,
Like,
so
it's just a matter of
I
when.
guess this is tied in loosely to my. Jeff knows this. I'm not a. I have some doomsday prepper DNA in me.
Yes.
I have this.
We are looking at your stack of dictionaries for every language, just in case the world crumbles and you'll need to speak German to someone.
You say that like it's silly. Like that's really.
I'm holding your Chinese to English dictionary, just in case you need to say Yuan Yin, which is reason in Chinese, in Mandarin, I guess.
So I mean, the world's at an end. The power has gone out.
You'll be laughing at me one day when I'm like, I need to say reason in Mandarin.
No, you
know.
made fun. No, chances are it'll be Cantonese, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's
but,
right.
I do loosely like to be planned for, any kind of apocalypse. Basically, I was telling Jeff, the one I'm loosely in my head is if for whatever reason the power goes out long term. That could be
Right.
anything. It could be a hurricane hits us and it was so bad that the
it's
government's
happened.
not going to pick things up.
It's
it could
happened
be a
here
solar
before.
flare. Yeah,
We were in New York. We had that
yeah.
big power outage in 2003.
Now, if we were to, as society to lose power for a month, it's just gonna be rough.
A month would be,
Right,
yeah.
it's gonna be rough. Now, my Chinese dictionary might not come in handy, but other things. So that's when I'm a doomsday prepper, and I don't have the money or time to commit fully to it yet. But that's
But you're
loosely,
getting there.
That's loosely what I'm playing for. I'm not playing like all these crazy crockpot things, just in case.
So you're saying if this podcast brings in a lot of money, you are going to spend all of it on your fallout
on my
shelter in the
bunker,
basement.
yeah. It would be upstate, but
Oh, I see.
it's all
Get
fun
out of
now.
the city. That makes sense.
But anyway, my point is, if there's something that could happen where those server farms will go down, and that stuff is irretrievable.
Right, but those server farms, there's not just one.
I want to make sure if there is a post-apocalypse, I can still have a backed-up copy of my chronological Lost fan edit. I gotta make sure that's under the roof.
Which you didn't even make. You downloaded it.
Yeah, I want to make sure that clear. Yeah, I didn't edit it.
Yeah. We don't want to get in trouble with the whole Disney Corporation.
Oh, I
Just-
see. You're thinking Disney. I just didn't want to offend the guy that did all the work.
Oh, okay, I see.
Re-edited it.
Yeah, well, that shows where we're at. But no, those server farms
Yeah.
are backed up. Like if
But if the
I
power
have
goes out,
things-
they all go out.
But they're not all in the same place. If the power
They're
went
not
out
retrievable
worldwide,
anyway because you don't have power.
Okay, so
a good point.
And also
what,
your
what if it's not a
backups would
power
not
situation?
have
What if
power.
we go to war with China and their first attack is they just fuck up all our server farms?
are we going to war with China because they want their dictionary back from you?
They do. They were like, that's
This is
ours.
the dictionary. This is the only
You're not
Chinese
allowed
English
to know how to
dictionary.
say reason in Chinese.
It was Wan Yin. I already know.
They're coming for you.
Oh,
Dan.
no.
No, they just misread word.
Yes, I see. But no, so those server farms, they're not just backed up in one spot. Like they've thought about this and they have planned for it. Like there's one in Idaho and there's one in like Russia. I'm
Right,
just pulling
but
that out
what
of
if
my
they
butt.
all
but
go out?
if they all go out, then you have a lot more problems to worry about than where your data is.
But when you, like, I don't know, like, the stuff I
Like-
really care about, chronological Lost fan kind of side, is like pictures and stuff like that.
Right, but what possible scenario are you envisioning where you will not be able to get that off of the cloud?
Hacked, I don't know, something, I don't know. I guess I
Do you
get.
know what that word means?
No, I'm sure I'm wrong. I just feel safer not having it in the cloud, and I'm sure eventually
I
I'll be
won't begrudge
forced
you
to go to
that.
the cloud. Like, I mean, the next Mac computer that I'll probably end up getting if I could ever afford it.
Yeah.
Is probably not even gonna have any ports or anything. It's not gonna connect to anything. It'll be online only.
Right.
So
well, that's where Apple
yeah.
has been moving. But
And
What
that's
I'm-
ridiculous.
I do too, because I can't back shit up on my hard drives.
it is. I mean, you shouldn't always be reliant on the internet because it does go out.
The
A lot
only
of people-
defense for what you're talking about is hard copies of everything.
Yeah.
Well, like you're saying, you want to put a hard drive in a safe deposit box. That's not going to work forever because
I know,
hard drives
I know.
die even if they're just sitting there. It'll probably last longer than you're alive.
What's
No,
funny?
hard drives die when they run.
No, but if it's just sitting there, well, first of all, it's a magnetic hard drive, so it could be wiped out with like a magnet.
Well, I would put it in a Faraday cage.
Fine.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's in a Faraday cage, named after Daniel Faraday from Lost,
of course.
and not the other way around, of course. My point is that it will eventually go. Even an unplugged hard drive dies eventually. Like,
Well, I mean-
it'll become unreadable. Yes, it might be in hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say we were being
Well, you know,
practical
what?
here,
I read a one-shot issue of a Batman comic like 15 years ago.
which is where we
and
get
it's-
all of our information about the
and,
internet.
and it took place way in the future.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a particularly good comic. I got it because I was new to comics. I was new to Batman, and I liked the cover. It was a metal Batman bleeding, crying a blood tear. It's so stupid. But anyway,
Okay.
the one concept that stuck with me that I thought was
That
really
sounds pretty
cool
90s, just
was,
since we're a 90s show.
it was 98. So Batman backed up. This is hundreds of years in the future. Batman backed up all of his files on the back computer by etching in binary code zeros and ones into the walls of the Batcave. And it was
That
all
sounds awesome.
so yeah,
sounds
exactly.
pretty
Isn't
awesome.
that fucking badass? I can't do that.
But
Obviously.
also very labor intensive.
I'm sure he made Alfred do it.
Alfred, I need you to etch the Batcave with ones and zeros.
I'm not worrying. I'll give
Where are the drugs, Falco?
001, 001, 001.
Write them down as I'm narrating them to you. That was for Two-Face 001. That's the Joker.
You merely adopted binary code. I lived
I
in
was
it.
born
I was
there.
born in it.
So
That's my Bane, Jeff.
Yeah.
It was good. It was pretty good. And Bane is a very 90s character.
Yeah. No. So you're saying the drive is it's pointless. I should just go to the cloud.
It's pointless. You should go to the cloud.
I know, and
It's
I
2015,
will
Jack.
eventually.
Maybe, or maybe
Well, if you're talking
2016
about
when
getting
this
hacked,
is airing.
then
I mean, look.
I also have a lot of terabytes of stuff. I'm sure in a few years it'll
I don't
be
have
easier.
a point after I said look. I really have nothing to say after that. I was just buying time.
putting your data in more server farms only allows it to be hacked in different places.
And isn't
It's like
are we-
burying your
are
gold
we-
all over the place.
Aren't we gonna have to come up with something better than the cloud once we get to a point?
Super cloud?
Well, once we get to a point where we have terabytes of information. Right now, what did the cloud give you? How many gigs do you what's standard?
Well, it
Buy
depends.
whatever you
can
want.
buy as much as you want.
But like,
You wanna
what's
buy terabytes,
reasonable?
you can buy
I mean,
terabytes.
Yeah.
what if you have what if we have petabytes of information in 10 years for whatever reason?
We,
we
are
have a lot of
pretty
4K
much already
video.
there. Like, I think...
I'm talking personally. Like, Dan Mulhall have petabytes of information.
Oh, well, that would be like once we have like Google Glass on all the time.
You might
recording
be
ourselves
recording your
constantly.
entire time like that Robin Williams movie.
Or like that Black Mirror
So
episode.
say
Now you're gonna have to
alright,
talk about different internet service. 'cause
But okay, so but even I'm talking physical space and energy consumption. How do you build server farms that hold, say, 350, 400 million Americans petabytes of information?
This
If
may
we
be-
can get to that point.
This may be going beyond our scope as a comedic podcast about the 90s, but you need to build...
Wait, this is supposed to be funny.
I don't know. I'm having a good
Here's my
time.
Here's my Batman voice. Please laugh. I wish we could cut that.
I wish you could that too, but we can't.
That clock is
That's a
ticking.
different show. That's a different
Fuck
show.
is still ticking.
Yes, we're doing this live to tape, so we're not cutting anything if you had not.
Live to card.
Live to card, yes, exactly. I don't remember what you said, and now we need to go back.
Server farms. Once
Server
we get
farms, yeah,
possibly
once we
big,
have
and not just big, the energy
petabytes of
to
stuff.
fans to keep them cool.
The energy's a big problem. I mean, we need to come up with...
It's already a problem now, and it's not even the server farms aren't even that big yet.
Well, what's becoming...
I mean, they are.
What I think is going to become more of a norm is using...
As opposed to more of a cliff Clavin.
Damn you, Jack. No,
I'm not gonna let you finish your point.
I think what I've at least read a little bit about this happening is using server farms for heat.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know how much heat you get and how much you can
Even
control
if you
it.
just use it for hot water, even if you just use it as a hot
Yeah,
water
just for
heater.
something, so
that's
that's
a
not just
fantastic idea.
waste heat that's going to waste.
That's great. I wish we could be so much more
If
efficient
we can harness
if we-
entropy, we will be masters of the universe.
That's
think-
interesting, but I think it brings up other problems for noise, for instance, and
Well, I think
Well, aren't
other
these all in
power
the desert?
consumption.
it would be like
Well,
something
how are you going
where
to transfer heat from the desert to whatever city you're talking about?
heat pipes, which we have invented in the future.
I
that
think we
transfer
invented.
heat.
I think we invented them 150 years ago. Heat pipes.
Did we? Like steam pipes?
Yeah.
That's steam. It's like heat.
Okay, but
Well, it's cold steam.
I love cold steam.
What were you saying? Oh, you just don't think it's possible?
well, you're gonna lose all the heat energy. I mean, you're talking about steam pipes.
You're saying they're saying using recycling server farm heat is impractical. There's
I think you would have to build it inside the buildings,
You would. I think the idea would be
not in deserts.
I'm sure you structurally have to do something
you
different
build
fundamentally.
a housing development's going up. The sub level of the housing development is nothing but a server farm.
Right, that's where I'm saying
Or
the
even
noise
like-
problem would come
Even
in.
this is like
'Cause those
talking
things are
way
loud.
in the future,
I guess.
overpopulation. The future can go a million ways, but let's go with the Judge Dredd future, or where
Okay.
there's so much population, we're all just in one giant city.
Mega City 1.
So the foundation of the city, or under the foundation, are the server farms. That would give the heat, and the heat rises, right?
That would probably be The Fire Rises. The Fire Rises. That was my terrible Bane voice. The Fire Rises. It just sounds like I'm mumbling.
me, Gonzo. That's not Gonzo. Who's that?
No, that was.
It's me, Bud. Hi.
Hi guys, it's mine.
I like to inhale
is
helium
this?
to throw people off, throw my enemies off.
Well, it's kind of what he did in the actual movie. But no,
They adopted helium,
I was born in the helium.
and I'm German now.
Yes. I am the German Bane. I love the helium.
Helium loving German Bane. That's why you're listening to 90s Percentile.
That's right. So no, if we were in a mega city and we were living on top of a huge server farm, you're talking about a server farm that would have to encompass the data
For the Mega City 1, yeah.
How many people live in Mega City 1?
Hundreds of millions of people, right?
Well, because in Judge Dredd there had been some sort of scorched earth, right? Like there's.
But they
there's
still
a
crammed a
problem.
lot. I mean, Mega City 1 is basically what? New York to Chicago to DC?
I'm not a Judge Dredd super fan.
I think it's
I've seen
maybe
both
not as
movies.
west to Chicago, but it's definitely New York to DC.
It's big, yeah.
I would say above New York to DC.
Boston, it's Boston to DC, I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah.
that sounds
Boston
It's,
to
about
DC
right.
is
it's
Mega City
technically
And
it's
then maybe to
technically
Pennsylvania.
It's technically what the
Ohio
what
is.
the actual city
Cursed
is.
Earth, that's not it.
Like
That's
there's
Sorry.
like people consider
Take law to the lawless.
Yeah, that's right.
I am the law.
You just
By the way, they
yeah.
said they're not doing Dread 2. That's a mistake, right?
Yeah, that movie was
movie is
awesome.
great.
Dredd
The
was
remake
awesome. Yeah, and you know what I think they should do is do like a Sherlock kind of series, like low budget, and just do 3 half-hour episodes
of Dread
Of Dredd.
with the same cast.
With this, if you can get Carl Urban to do it, I think he would
Yeah,
because
because
he loved it.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I'll leave the helmet on the whole time. This is fucking awesome."
Yeah, Alina Headey probably wouldn't come back, but spoiler alert,
well,
She's dead.
she was also killed.
Well, she's still falling.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But who wrote Dredd? It was a famous writer.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yep,
is not
Sherlock
a writer.
Holmes wrote Dredd in
I know,
1886.
I have no idea. You can look it up on you can look it up in the cloud.
I'm gonna look it up on the cloud real quick.
All right. So anyway, but Mega City 1, there's a lot of, I don't know if it's theories or if it just is, but a lot of people consider Mega City 1 to already exist. Like they consider like New York, Boston, Washington D.C. to already be kind of a functional city unit, even though it has different governments and stuff like that.
Right.
Based on infrastructure, basically.
Side note: it was Alex Garland who wrote Dredd.
Oh, I love Alex Garland. And
Yeah.
he wrote 28 Days Later.
Yeah, and Sunshine.
Haven't seen Ex Machina. That
Ex
was his
Machina is very
directorial
good.
debut, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very good movie.
Haven't seen it yet. Well, maybe I haven't, but by the time
By the time this has come out,
But
Future Jack
Re-
has.
relative in
And
theory
he
of
had a
relativity.
petabyte
I
of
have-
data about his experience.
I have a fan edit of Ex Machina in chronological order.
No, that wouldn't help. It doesn't really play with time. I had to think about it for a second, though. So yeah,
So Netscape.
I think that's it for Netscape.
All right, hands up. Who thought we could talk for a half hour about Netscape?
Well, we kind of
Who's
didn't. we got to Bane and Judge
We got
Dredd.
past 3 minutes.
I have a feeling most of our topics are going to come back to 90s comic books at some point.
I'd be surprised if one doesn't.
Yeah,
to be
all right.
honest.
So let's go back to our
comic,
hat.
Batman versus Superman.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
All right, our next random topic. Let's look it up.
let's do it. In our master list of suggestions here.
All right. 32 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, and our next topic is Matchbox 20.
Well, I don't know if I could talk about Matchbox.
Oh, we're
20.
very lucky to have in this 90s Percentile in WEE Studios today to talk about Matchbox 20. We have Veronica Mars creator Rob Thomas. Hey, hi, Rob Thomas. How are you?
Are you Rob? Wait.
You're Rob. I'm Jack. You're the creator of Veronica Mars, Rob Thomas. You have the same name as singer Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20.
Yes, I do.
People would probably think, based on that impression of the Matchbox 20 Rob Thomas you were just doing, that I was going to introduce Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20, but I wasn't.
I understand. Your ruse has confused me. Yes, I'm Rob Thomas, creator of Party Down and Veronica Mars.
Both great shows.
Oh, thank you very
Haven't
much.
seen the movie yet, Veronica Mars. Is there going to be a Party Down movie?
There sure is. I'm announcing it here on this podcast.
Wow, big
Party Down
exclusive.
movie.
90s
It's coming out. It's
Percentile
coming out
exclusive.
tomorrow.
Who's doing the soundtrack?
Everyone.
Not Matchbox 20. Everyone, every single musical artist is doing the soundtrack to the Party Down movie starring Adam Scott and
Adam
what's her
Scott's
face?
not returning.
Oh, he's not.
No, and everyone except Matchbox 20 will be on the soundtrack.
Really?
I
So-
don't care for Rob Thomas. He took my name.
Is it just like living artists, or are you somehow using song?
No, we have used technology to bring artists back from the dead.
So every single person who's ever made music has contributed a song to the Party Down movie soundtrack, not starring Adam Scott.
That's correct. It's starring Scott Adams.
What's the first-
creator of Dilbert?
What's the first? Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, the comic, is starring. He's acting. He's never acted before, as far as I know. He's starring in the Party Down movie.
That's correct.
I'm
Rob Thomas. I directed it. I would know.
I know you would know. This is a huge.
Actually crying.
He's
so
so
excited.
emotional.
This
Rob-
is my second film.
Rob Thomas, the writer director of Party Down the movie and the hit shows Veronica Mars Party Down, is so excited to be announcing the movie of the hit star show Party Down that he's
Yes.
literally in tears right now.
I'm so
crying.
excited about it. And
This is
I'm really a big fan of Dilbert.
So guys, if you don't know, Party Down, it was a television show on Starz for 2 seasons. It starred Adam Scott. It's basically about a catering service and the hijinks they got into.
Boy, do they get into hijinks.
So this movie is starring Dilbert creator Scott Adams,
That's
who's not
correct.
an actor, but he will be acting in this.
No, he is not.
Who is he playing? Is he playing Adam Scott's character? Is he playing a new original character?
He's playing his older brother, who we never saw on the show.
Is he also a caterer? Does the show
Yes.
have anything to do with catering? Yeah.
Yes, it's all catering. It's just them catering an event. They don't speak to each other.
It's just. So it's just basically as if you were to go to some random wedding or something, and the cameras were on, and you.
We ransacked a random wedding and just filmed catering it.
But and you got Scott Adams to
Yes, we
cater.
did.
Is he? He's just like a waiter, or is he the working
bringing
bar?
out steam trays
He's bringing
from
out
the
the
back.
steam trays. Now, is the shots at least focusing on them, or are they just kind of in the
No,
background?
they're in the background.
So is it even fair to say it's starring Scott Adams? Would it be more starring the couple getting
We say
married?
featuring Scott Adams. It stars Benny and Julie on their special day.
Okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Exclusive. Party Down cult show, great, 2 seasons, both every episode great. Finally coming out with a movie, starring
The soundtrack of every recording artist ever, past and future.
and it's starring Benny and Julie,
Benny and Julie
a young
get
couple
married,
getting
yes.
married, and the creator of Dilbert is in the back. is in the background.
Yes,
Bringing out steam trays.
that's correct. It's coming out tomorrow. Tell your friends.
This is such a great exclusive.
There was no editing
What was
involved.
the budget on this movie?
$10,000 million.
$10 billion?
Yes. Is that 10,000 times million? Yes.
How much? Scott Adams, did he get like a Robert Downey Jr. type deal?
He
or
sure did.
He's getting like.
He gets all of the profits. He has some
You're not-
incriminating photos of me. He made me put him in the film.
Now it's things. It actually makes more sense that way. But so this is more of a passion project. You're not even making anyway.
Yes.
Were you gonna do the movie anyway, or did
No.
Scott Adams just want?
He's a big fan and wanted to be a part of the
So
universe.
Scott Adams purposely took pictures to blackmail you, Veronica Mars creator Rob Thomas.
Yes.
He took pictures, incriminating photos of you doing God knows what, so
I
that
was going
you
to
would,
the bathroom.
so that you would film him catering some random couple's wedding.
When you say it like that, it sounds a little implausible.
But that's the
But
case.
that's how it happened.
All right, so that was our discussion of Matchbox 20. Next
All right, I'm
topic.
gonna go. That was crazy. That just
Then
happened.
he just
I
like
can't
came
believe we
in
got
and,
that big scoop.
and then he just left. I was for a second I really thought it was gonna be Rob. I was like, wow, what a coincidence! We're talking about Matchbox 20, and Rob Thomas, the
happens to be
singer
here,
of
yeah.
Matchbox 20, shows up.
I think that was better as a Veronica
I
Mars
mean,
fan.
I mean, what is the Matchbox 20 gonna announce? Some surprise
Yeah, new
album?
album,
Whatever.
who
We just got
cares?
an exclusive of a hugely budget movie. Actually, I don't even know how they're gonna fit all of those songs on the soundtrack.
I don't know. We should have asked him, but
it would be billions of. Hold on, I see him outside. I'm gonna open the window.
That's my car. I gotta go.
Never mind. He left. He got in his Uber and left.
All right, that's too bad.
Maybe
he'll come back someday.
I really wanted to know how long the soundtrack was, but. You know what? I'm gonna throw Matchbox 20 back in our hat.
Yeah,
so
it might come back.
It might come back up,
Yeah,
and maybe we can talk more about that, and we can talk more about the Party Down movie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
We'll have to watch it when it comes out tomorrow.
Definitely. You want to go? You guys want to just get the 11 a.m. matinee?
Absolutely. Well, we still got time on our clock. We should probably pick another topic.
All right. 26 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock. Our next topic is slap wristband.
Oh man, slap bracelets. I love them.
Slap bracelets.
They were banned, at least in my school, I think a lot of schools, because they are basically just a piece of metal with cloth around
I
them.
didn't know it was metal.
Yeah. And if you just took the cloth off, it's just like, it really hurt. Like
I thought you were going to say it would be like a knife, like a shiv.
Some of them did have sharp edges on them, so, because they, like, when those got popular.
Sharp.
Maybe not. You could whittle that thing down and make a nice shiv. And they have in prisons across the nation.
Oh yeah, the prison system in the 90s, it was a huge blight where you could just use slap like, oh look at this innocent. My kid brought me the slap wrist bracelet, and then
they were using slap bracelets for those old-fashioned ball and chains that they would put on convicts' legs. They were just slapping them on. And then the convicts got wise that they could just unslap them.
There's a great Johnny Cash song.
Away.
Unslap them.
There's a great Johnny Cash song from I think it's American 2, the series he did with
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin. I think it's called like On the Slap Gang.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. I'm on the slap gang again.
Yeah, I mean I don't know all the words, but that was one.
That's how it begins.
Yeah, that was the first lyric.
It's a good one.
There's several of them.
I had one I think that I loved. I don't even know where I got it. I remember it was a green one with like black dots and almost like a weird cheetah print.
Well,
I love that fucking. It was so much fun.
They were awesome.
It was amazing how often you could just like slap your wrist and just get
Isn't it crazy?
Entertainment out of it.
In like a pre-internet world, like that was entertainment. Just hitting myself in the wrist over and over again with this piece of metal.
But it curled around it.
It did. Amazing. I agree, and it made a noise. It made a slapping noise, which
came
was pretty
in all
great.
different neon colors.
All right,
Yeah.
so
neon was very big at that time.
I think it helps that we were 6 or 7.
Yeah, well,
it's not older, right? A little bit older, I thought.
I feel like it was.
I remember
an
that
early
in
90s
second
thing.
grade.
Yeah, so that's like 92-ish for us, right? 92, 93, 91.
Second grade, did you
91,
go?
92, 93?
Oh yeah, you were younger.
I am younger, but I was in the same
Only a year, but whatever.
Oh,
no, yeah.
Hey, this isn't about my personal life,
Well,
guys.
now they need to know. What did you skip kindergarten?
I skipped kindergarten, yes.
Because you were a genius at blocks.
Pretty good at blocks. I don't. Well,
he's blocking at a first grade level.
I could tell them the future. I knew all about Netscape, so they were like, "Oh, you better go up a grade." And I was like, "Yeah, it has an IPO."
I thought you were saying you were using the blocks to tell the future, like animal
I
bones.
was.
Like
Yeah.
You're just throwing
Yep.
You're just throwing You were reading the blocks.
I read the blocks.
It's like, wow, this kid's psychic. Let's skip kindergarten. Let's go from preschool to first grade. That's what we do with our psychics.
Someone was like, "Let's put him on the news. Like he can help so many people." And then someone else was just like, "No, you should just skip first grade." All right, that's what happened.
So I'm looking up. So you guys have like lightsaber apps on your phone and stuff. Where you've seen those where you have an app and you can have like it makes lightsaber
and it makes
sounds.
the noise. Yeah. Or if
there's like weird gimmick ones, and I also have a Ziggy from Quantum Leap, a Ziggy app. It looks just like the Ziggy. Anyway, I'm looking up a slap bracelet app. I thought maybe there'd be an app where it's like looks like it's an image of a slap bracelet.
Yeah.
And you just literally use your phone and slap down. It would make the slap sound.
No such luck?
Doesn't look like it exists. If I knew, again, I know nothing about technology. If I knew how to design apps.
WEE Studios, the studio bringing you this very podcast, we're going to branch out into apps. We're going to make that slap bracelet app. Slap app!
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't think we
App bracelet.
I don't know how copyright. You know copyright law, right? It's part of your job. So
the slap bracelets are not. I mean, there might be a patent.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, is there a way we can copyright this app without actually having? Now, if somebody
we
makes
have nothing.
it.
You can't. I mean,
can't you patent ideas? Isn't that like a whole thing now where people patenting just ideas to say, oh, if you ever invent a time machine, I own the rights to that.
Not really.
Patenting the concept of time travel.
I'm not a patent lawyer, but you do need some kind of method to actually do the thing. It can't be like, okay, I'm something that's makes gold.
I'm patenting.
It.
You hit a button on your iPhone, and now you have a slap bracelet. And if you move your iPhone in a vertical motion, it will go. And it will roll up.
There's a lot of boring things.
Actually, it would be a great iWatch
utility.
app. It would be a better iWatch app, not an iPhone app, right?
That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, just hit the button and it makes a slap bracelet noise.
It physically shoots a slap bracelet out.
Okay, you're talking about. Okay, that's much different. Yes, we're gonna patent that. I picture like crime fighters in the not too distant future with iPhone apps on their hands that fire slap bracelets at criminals. Don't let them know that they can just unslap the bracelet to take them off.
Little podcast crossover. A few months back or a few weeks, whenever I don't know when this is airing, we did an episode of our Simpsons podcast, worst episode ever, where we created a new superhero called Stink Eye.
Yeah, that was months ago though. I don't remember.
He communicates by far away. He can only
control one eye and his butthole.
And it's played by Pope Francis.
Yes.
And his name is Stink Eye. I want to say that he also has this as like his utility belt. Like that's his
Of course, yeah. I think it's his primary mode of transportation as well as defense.
We'll ask Pope Francis because I believe he's also the writer, right? He's writing it. He's writing and starring it.
He needed to have a lot of creative say.
So he will let him know. We'll give him that idea.
Yeah, we got a lot of irons in the fire here at WEE Studios. Podcasts, movies, comic books.
So
apps.
So Slap Bracelet's not coming up in the iOS App Store.
Okay.
So I'm just putting Slap. All right, so I have Slapjack, Slap, Slap City, Slap Game, Slappy, Slappy Bird, Slapshot, the Slap.com, Bitch Slap. That sounds promising.
I think you should get the Bitch Slap app.
Let's see if there's a Bitch Slap app. There's a beast. Yeah, it is. It's an app where you bitch slap somebody.
But what does that mean?
I'm just going by the screenshots. It's a screenshot. And it
you don't actually want to download this garbage app on your phone?
All right, I'll get it. It's called B Slap Lite by Onyx FX. Free advertising right there.
Free advertising for Onyx FX.
It is a picture of a awkward-looking man standing with half his, instead of a shadow, he has like half of a reflection, like just his legs are reflecting. He looks like Marty's brother in the picture. And
yeah, he does. So you just like slap this guy? Is that what this app is?
I think you just slap this one guy with the app.
This is the greatest app I've ever heard of. What's it called? Slap the guy?
B Slap Lite.
B Slap Lite.
Stall for a minute while I try to remember my password.
Well, that's not anything. That's all right.
Geoff is showing us something I'm not going to say out loud.
Free podcast, folks. But anyway, Slap B. I don't know who comes up with the idea.
B Slap Lite.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to besmirch the good name.
A stress relief photo booth. It's a picture of a face. I guess maybe you can upload anybody's face. I could upload you, Dan Mulhall's face to this app.
I'd prefer.
And then I can punch you, and it'll give you black eyes and bloody lips and stuff.
I have very large privacy concerns.
Here's another app. I'm not gonna buy it because it's 99 cents. It's called ARF Pro.
Is it just a dog that barks?
It's augmented reality fun.
Oh, that's much
ARF.
different. That's much
different. It should be a dog though.
Speaking of augmented reality, this is an interesting segue. Reality should be augmented. No, I bought. I haven't gotten it yet. It's actually coming tomorrow. I bought Google Cardboard. You guys familiar with that?
Yeah, I was thinking about seeing if I could squeeze my iPhone into that.
Yeah, I think I might have got a plastic one, but it's just the idea is it's a slot that you put your smartphone in. Ideally an Android phone, since it's a Google thing. And you put it on your face. It's just a cardboard display that's pretty inexpensive, and you wear it on your face, and it turns your phone into a VR headset, which is pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
you remember back in the 90s.
And there's already stuff you can look at, right?
Yeah, like I know for a fact there's a whole YouTube channel of 3D videos, and if you sat in a chair, like a rolly chair like Jack's sitting in right now, you just put this thing on, you can look in every direction, and you can like swing around in your chair, and
I'm excited about the technology because they're saying now, like if you go to a wedding and have your wedding videotaped, you could either A, have a film crew documented for a movie starring Scott Adams, or B, you could have like a selfie stick with a 360-degree camera on it, so you have the cameraman in the dance floor, so now you put these VR glasses on, you're watching the home video of the wedding, and you're basically
like
on the
there
dance
again.
floor.
Yeah,
and like that's cool for
married again.
For nostalgia, and then also it's going to be huge for news. So an embedded journalist in Afghanistan in the middle of a firefight, you can watch his report, and you're in the fucking firefight. There's a theory. I don't know how much weight it has, but they're saying maybe we'll be more averse to war if we're actually in it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, having that kind of technology would be as big a jump from having photos to live video was for the news. Like,
yeah.
For what was the first war where we had actual video? Was it World War II?
It was the Civil War. No.
Was that a bitch slap noise I just heard?
It was.
We got our B Slap Pro.
I have no idea how it works. It's a menu, but it's like cut off. And the only two options are rules and Master Pimp.
I think you want Master Pimp option.
And when I hit Master Pimp, I only get two more options: prizes and leaderboard. When I hit prizes, the app goes to it does nothing for a second. Then it fades to this screen that says prizes, and then it says congratulations to the winner of this term's contest, Chaz Lowry. Chaz, please email support@onyxfxinc.com with your contact info.
Chaz, get on that. You won the Pip Prize.
And an optional full body photo of yourself to be featured in the app, and then the app just freezes. There's no way to get out of that message.
All right. Well,
I can't actually find a slap.
This is a high-quality app that you've downloaded, and we all had a good time talking about slap bracelets.
Going back into like law and stuff, can we get sued for making fun of how stupid this fucking app is?
We hadn't made fun of it yet. You personally might be liable, but the podcast does not agree with what Jack is saying as a legal entity.
That wasn't me saying it. That was Rob Thomas. He came back
from Matchbox
for 2
20
seconds, and he was doing an impression of me saying he didn't like the app.
It wasn't me. I wasn't. It wasn't. Is this Kermit the Frog? Hey guys.
So
I'm gonna go.
Wait. So what were we talking about?
We were talking about slap bracelets at one point, but we kind of lost track of it.
It just makes a slap sound when you turn the app on. Everything else breaks.
What an interesting app.
All right, let me check out the leaderboard. Don the Minion is winning with 532 points.
Nice.
Chaz Lowry's fallen to third. He's in between Timmy Tran and Tim Hurst.
Oh no.
You know, speaking of slapping, that made me think like having a leaderboard. I have no idea how you actually get that, especially if the app doesn't work. But me thinking about the augmented reality that we were just talking about, have you guys heard of Ingress, I think it's called? Ingress, Ingress? It's a game that Google runs that you play on your phone where there's two sides warring over these points that exist in real life. I don't totally know how it works. I tried it.
I might have heard something about that.
Yeah, people are like really into it. It's like a way to meet new people. You have to go and defend bases, basically.
I have heard of this, yeah.
You go to interesting places which are defined as bases, and you just have to stay there and like meet up with people.
It's like a competitive Foursquare.
Kind of, yeah. I don't totally know how it works. I downloaded it once and tried to use it, and I was like, this is way too complicated.
Really?
But Lifehacker had an interesting article about how someone moved to a new town, I think, and was using this game to A, find their way around town, and B, meet new people. Like, you can actually like find people and become friends with them. Yeah, you meet weird gamers, but is it better to be alone or to have weird gamer friends?
Alone.
It might be better to be alone. Because you can read a book.
You can listen to this podcast. You can't really listen to this podcast in a group setting.
You could not murder yourself 2 years down the road.
Yeah, that's true.
You can play Bitch Slap, try to get on the leaderboard.
Alright, so now we've insulted Bitch Slap, we've insulted Ingress. Who else can we insult?
I mean,
Random strangers.
Random strangers. Hey, you! You suck! Oh my god, it was Rob Thomas. He might be coming back.
Oh man, should I get the Google card? What is it, $15?
Yeah, I think the one I got was like
I'll buy it on
17.
Amazon through WEE.
That's right.
Through our website. I heard your iPhone can fit it. I don't know why Apple hasn't come up with something yet.
There's different manufacturers make different products.
Right.
They call it all Google Cardboard, even if it's not actually made of cardboard.
That's the product. It's not the brand.
It's not the product. It's kind of I don't know how you would describe it. Like if it says Google Cardboard, Google has like authorized it. Cool. It's licensed out, I guess. Okay.
Is it actually cardboard?
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah.
Is yours?
I haven't gotten it yet. I don't remember. I think it might be black cardboard. It might be like.
How do you know when you get it if it's the box or if it's the cardboard?
You just blew my mind. That's a great question. I'm just gonna wear the box on my head and just be like, "Wow, this is so fun."
I hope there's something for the iPhone. I really would like. I think AR especially, but also VR is. I think it's such. I'm dying to try the Oculus.
Have you never tried it?
I've never tried it.
Have you ever tried it, Jeff?
No.
I tried it at Comic-Con last year. In 2014.
Yeah, it's supposed to be so.
It was really
cool.
fun. It was really cool.
It's like your brain thinks you're there.
It was How to Train Your Dragon simulator. So I was flying a dragon, and they had it set up like you're on a chair that moved a little bit, and there was a fan in front of me, so that you actually felt like wind in your face. It was pretty cool.
That's really cool. And
I don't know if you're gonna go through all that trouble at home.
I mean, I heard like they do tests where they'll put you on a cliff in the virtual reality, and you have to walk off the cliff. And that's your crazy. Brain won't people struggle to do it. It's like RoboCop trying to stop the fourth directive, and he's just so
you guys couldn't see it, but Jack perfectly mimicked what RoboCop would do if he tried to break the fourth directive.
I heard that. I'm dying to do like brain experiments. Like my biggest fear, because I'm dying to get one. I know it'll be a while because it'll come out, or if it's not out already, I have to wait at least for them to get the bugs out. I have to wait for it to get cheaper. It's gonna be a year or two at earliest.
Yeah. So check this out, because this is a really cheap
my
way to get into this.
biggest fear is there's a small percentage of the population that can't do it. Like their brain isn't in sync with it. And
Wait, are you making this up or
this is real.
This is real. Okay.
So you know how like the problem with virtual reality up until now is if you turn left and the image doesn't perfectly mirror turning left, you get nauseous because your inner ear is like, this isn't right. Something's off.
Yeah.
And the thing about Oculus and VR now is supposedly they finally fine-tuned it where you get over that hump.
Yeah.
Apparently there's still population percentage of the population that's
Where that
still
doesn't work?
Yeah, they're still getting seasick and their inner ears fucked up. I'm concerned that I'll be like my luck. I'll be in the minority and I won't even be able to get. Everybody's just gonna be on the Oculus and be like, "This is so
all the
awesome."
time. And you're like, I get sick when I do mine. Oh man.
That's exactly. I'm gonna put my fist on my chin.
Oh,
Like,
baloney.
that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna, oh, baloney. Well, the world goes Oculus.
When I did it was a while ago now when I did it, but I don't remember any problem. Like, I looked around, like a lot of people were just like staring straight ahead. I got on it and it was supposed to be that you're flying a dragon. I like looked all the way around, and the weirdest part was when you looked down, you didn't see anything. Like there was no body, and that really fucked up my head. I was like, oh my god.
You think they'd put something there?
Yeah. So get on it, Oculus developers.
Man, I'm dying to try it.
It's really cool.
It just seems like it's almost holodeck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you seen what was the Microsoft thing that they came out with?
That's AR, right?
That's an AR thing, but they are like trying to ultimately get to a holodeck.
That's so cool.
Yeah. We're in the future, boys.
The 90s. What a time to be
What
alive.
a time. What a time. That's where all these ideas came from originally.
Are we still, what are we on? Slap bracelets still?
Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time, so I don't know if we'll be able to get all we wanted on the next topic.
Okay, but let's do another topic. We got 11 minutes and change here. So, what's our next topic, Jack?
All right, so 11 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock. Topic is slimed, which I'm guessing
Slimed.
is Nickelodeon getting slimed.
Okay. Not really a 90s topic. It started in the 80s.
Okay, so should I throw it out? Should I?
No, we could talk about slime. It was certainly a big component. GAC was a big component of the 90s.
I loved it.
Remember
I had
GAC?
one container of GAC.
I also had one
It was
container of
green.
GAC. Me too. I had the standard
The
green GAC.
neon green.
Yep.
It smelled
Yeah,
like
it did
ass.
smell.
It did smell like
And it
ass.
made your hands smell like ass. It gave you ass hands.
But interestingly, if you put it on your ass, it made it smell like hands.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Which isn't bad. Like
It was a miracle.
I love sticking my face into an ass and go, that's hands.
We're learning a lot about you today, Jack. GAC was interesting, but slime originally started with You Can't Do That on Television, which wasn't even on Nickelodeon.
Oh, really? Oh, it's Canadian, right?
It was a Canadian show. I don't know originally
Alanis
where it started.
Morissette was
Alanis
on it.
Morissette was on it. It was whenever you said "I don't know," you would get slimed.
What was
I don't
it?
know
Do you know
why.
what
I
the
don't know
slime
what the
was?
context
What the
was.
original was? It just like water and green dye?
It was
or-
actual slime that they would get from a river somewhere.
They would find where a haunted house where their ghost was,
Yeah,
and they would get
that's right.
what's it called?
Ectoplasm.
The ectoplasm.
Yeah, that's what originally it
Well,
was.
that's why I wanted to ask what the slime is, because I'm worried that like now, 20, 25 years later, they're gonna be all these like Alanis Morissette and all these kids, and
Yeah.
they're all gonna like suddenly just get cancer, like head cancer, brain cancer, and you find out like there's really bad chemicals in
I'm
it.
pretty sure it was just like cornstarch and water and food dye.
I hope
think
so.
I don't think it's anything too sinister.
I hope so.
But what's weird is that
Just formaldehyde. just
it's just poison. It's just actual
cyanide.
poison. But what's interesting to me is that I think Nickelodeon still like slimes people, and it's so divorced from what it was because people don't know where it started. On You Can't Do That on Television, they don't even remember that show.
That's
Like,
interesting.
do they still do it? And are people just like, yeah, Nickelodeon just slimes people?
Yeah, you
And
get
they
slimed when they
accepted
get the
that?
Nick Awards and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't watched Nickelodeon in some
I
time.
thought you were a big Nickelodeon. fan.
All right. Confession
I know
time.
you watch the
it every
CW,
night.
so I figured
I
that
do watch the CW.
Nickelodeon.
CW has a lot. I watch more shows on the CW than any other network now. It's kind of sad. Watch The Flash. I'm gonna list them. I watch Arrow.
I hear good things about the Arrowverse.
I watch Jane the Virgin, which is a good show.
At the time of this recording, Supergirl hasn't come out yet. You gonna watch that? Is that
I don't
part of
know.
Arrowverse?
It's the same creators, but they have said it's separate. But I feel like they are leaving the door open to like maybe doing a
So
crossover.
they won't have like an early on in the run. They won't be like, by the way, I was watching that show Arrow. That's a show. That's not it's not real.
That would be some very clunky dialogue, but as far as I know, they're not going to do
everybody
that.
knows I want to be a TV writer.
Yeah, right. I certainly. Every pilot you write, it just begins with everyone listing off every show that is not in that universe. It's just like, I can't wait to watch Chicago Hope and ER, which are television shows in this fictional universe.
Hey, that sci-fi pilot is going to be gold, baby. It takes place 800 years in the future, and they like to watch old reruns of ER and Chicago Hope, which is not in the same
All right,
universe.
I would watch that show.
However, it is in the same universe as Scrubs.
Now, wait a minute. Is it going to be... That's pretty good.
Every episode ends with a really lame, boring musical montage where the alien learns a lesson.
So wait, does the alien watch the episodes of ER live? Like we're watching him watch ER like
No,
a Mystery Science Theater
ridiculous.
thing? Oh, okay.
It's just on in the background.
Fair enough. It's on in the background, out of focus, as we're watching the alien go about his
Exactly.
life. Interesting.
You kind of hear snippets. Like every once in a while, you hear Hector Alonso's like, "Damn it, we have to save this child."
I like it. I would watch this show. I think you got a winner on your hands. Put it on the CW. I'd definitely watch it. So that's it for slime. I don't know. Well, we can say more about slime. Let's talk more about gack. Remember when they had a different type of gack that had like crunchy stuff in it? Do you remember this?
Ew,
Not
no.
at all.
It was not called gack. I don't remember what it was called though. All right, that's exciting podcasting.
I remember
Done.
Squand.
I always wanted to play
Sland?
with Squand. Yeah, Squand
It's like-
was the underwater sculpting sand.
Yeah, it would.
That's what the
it
commercial would
be,
say.
You could sculpt it if it was underwater, but if as soon as it came out of water, it instantly turned. Now, see,
Yeah.
that's got to give you cancer, right? That's the chemicals involved in that.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure those,
That's not cornstarch.
They're called. I think it might actually be some sort of corn
Some kind of
starch.
starch.
All right, I don't know much about this. I'm
Beet
no
starch.
expert. It's beet starch. That's how you make squash. You combine actual sand and beet starch.
It's a really simple process.
It's pretty simple. We're sorry to give away the secrets of squand.
The guy,
on the very
the guy
first
who
podcast.
patented that idea way before actually implementing it is
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
rolling in dough.
It's pretty horrible. But no, I think squand and probably the slime also, they're what's called non-Newtonian fluids. I don't know much about this.
Whoa.
I know, I'm getting like real science. You can make...
Like Fig Newtons? Fig
Yep.
Newtonian?
Like the Fig Newton Corporation has made a series of solids and liquids, and they're non-Newtonian fluids. No, like you can get, if you Google this, it's easy to find a recipe online. I have never done it. You can make a mixture that is mostly cornstarch and water, where if you put pressure on it, it will like force back on you. Like you can punch it and it's like solid, but if you put your hand through it, it's completely liquid.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like you can have a pool of like this cornstarch mixture and run across it like you're Jesus, and or jump into it. Well, not jump into it, but step into it and
how
swim
is
in
it?
it.
It's a solid. Wait, when does it
It's
become
like
liquid?
with force. It has, I guess, the way that the atoms.
So if you're,
I don't know
if you're
science.
running on it, probably just your first
You'd have
step.
to. You'd have to
you'd
like
have to tread
really
lightly.
like
Slap it.
oh,
Walter White says.
the force is that you
The
actually.
force is what causes the solid
need a
like
lot of
property.
force.
You need a lot of force.
You would
yeah.
have to stomp across
You're
it.
breaking the atoms.
Well, no,
No,
the,
you're
the atoms
forcing them
are
into each other.
binding together, yeah.
Oh, wow,
To
that's
create like a solid
trippy.
type thing. So this is a learning show too, everyone. We found out a lot, but we'll get to that in a moment.
There's nothing about the 90s.
We had some stuff about the 90s in there. Slap bracelets.
Gack is 90s. Did you ever try to eat the gack?
No, I did not eat the
Absolutely
gack.
not.
You never tempted?
Because
No.
it smelled like ass. Why would I want to eat ass? Are you about to tell us that you ate some gack?
I can't remember if I ever ate it. I'm pretty sure at some point I probably took off a chunk and either put it in my
Maybe
mouth.
that's why you don't remember it.
I have a disgusting story that made me just think of.
What did you eat, Dan?
No, a kid.
All
who-
right, this is the part of the show. This is, by the way, if you're new to 90s Percentile, we do a segment every week called "What Did You Eat, Dan?"
All right, I don't know if I want to tell the story now because it really wasn't me. It was a friend of mine from like grade school.
His name was Dan.
His name was not Dan.
It was
He told me that
Dan Holmall.
one night he like went into the bathroom and like took
He
a
ate
piece of
poop.
he took a piece of poop out of the toilet and bit it because it looked like chocolate.
He thought it was chocolate, or he
I
figured.
don't know how
or did
old he was when he does
did
this.
he
He told
figure
me
it-
this. Maybe he's lying. I don't know. I
He
don't talk to
figured
him anymore.
It looks like chocolate, probably tastes like chocolate.
Probably, but he was.
he knew it was
was in
poop.
for quite a surprise. It does not
God.
taste like chocolate.
Was it?
Although I've never eaten poop,
was
so
it-
I can't say for certain.
Well, assuming this is your friend and not you,
It is. Yes, it's someone I knew growing up.
was it Hershey's or was it Hershey's with almonds?
Oh, dear.
As far as I know, it was original style.
You don't remember?
I don't know. There might have been some corn in it. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. But that's a gross story that you made me think of with gag.
All right, I'm gonna get just as a reward to our faithful listeners. I'm actually not going to lie and say it was a friend. This was me.
It wasn't me. I really didn't.
But at some point when I first started using deodorant in like 6th or 7th grade,
Yeah.
actually it might have been, no, I think it was in junior high. So at some point when I started using, I think it was Right Guard, was using deodorant. At one point, I just put it on my balls, and then
Did it deodorize them?
I don't know. It
I've
made
done that
it smell
Did
like
it disorganize
It
them
made
in
it
any
smell
way?
like hand. I had the hand right guard flavor. Anyway, so I get on the bus the next day or that day, whatever, and I just go, "Hey guys, I know a friend of mine. He put deodorant on his balls." And everybody's just like, "Yeah, it was you, right?" Like, who would tell you? These are like these.
Yeah, no one
things
would tell
hilarious.
anyone else.
It's like, who would tell you that? Well, obviously you did it. I was like, no.
Oh.
My friend really did. Okay, I
did that in
really did
college.
know a guy, and he really did tell me this. He was kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe
Did he
it's
tell you
something
what
to
had
do.
happened, or did he tell you like 20 years later?
I think it was a few years
what's
later.
that? Your story
I
seems to
think
be
it was
falling
a few.
apart
I
under
think
the
it was
pressure.
when he was like a toddler. He did this, and he told me in like 2nd or 3rd grade. I don't know why he would tell me. I have a trusting face. People tell me things all the
I
time.
just told you I put
You
deodorant on my
just
balls.
tell me you put deodorant on your balls, and you told potentially millions of listeners. We got high hopes for this podcast.
High hopes.
Well, now they all know that you may have eaten poop.
This is why I almost didn't tell the story, but I was like, it's so weird. I should get it out there.
15 years from now, you're like running for president, you're leading in the polls, and they're just like, this resurfaces, and they're
I
like,
did not eat that poop.
there's going to be a congressional commission.
Depends on what the definition of poop is.
Well, I mean, if it's mostly corn, is it still poop? That stuff moves right through you undigested. We got real gross at the end of this podcast.
People were listening, they were like,
tired.
you're like I'm into this, but
Yeah.
it needs more poop talk.
More poop talk. All right, next week we're going to talk nothing but poop talk.
That ass hand stuff wasn't enough. Wasn't
was-
cutting it.
Nope, it was not. Do we have time for another topic? I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
so.
we got a minute and change left. Again, this is kind of a test show for us. We're still trying
Yeah.
to figure out how we want this format to run. So I don't know
Lightning round.
if all right, do a lightning round.
We'll do a lightning round real quick.
All right.
We got like 90 seconds. What do
I'll
we
try
got,
to find
Jack?
like a nice specific topic. I'm going to pull out here.
Okay.
Something that we can really bang out in 90 seconds.
You got
All
it.
right.
Let's do
Sentence
it.
apiece.
All top pop songs of the 1990s.
Okay.
They all suck.
They all suck. I agree with Jeff. We still have extra time for another topic.
Things labeled alt.
Things labeled alt.
You got the alt button
On the keyboard.
What is
That's
that?
the
the first
only
thing I
thing I
thought.
can think
What
of.
is what is
It's supposed to be.
It's like the
alternate.
properties button.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
An
like,
alternate click.
like
right.
a function, like the function, like the F key?
Kind
Or
of.
the Apple?
Function keys more have a defined.
The PC,
function.
you guys with PCs, you guys don't have an equivalent to the Apple key, right?
I'd say
just-
the
well,
alt key is close to that.
Do
It's
wait,
control.
Wait, does an Apple
Control and the Apple key are the same, and your control is basically our alt key.
Why would they change the
Because
control?
Apple is a bunch of jerks.
I just realized it actually says control on the Apple keyboard. It doesn't
It
say
does.
it's control.
I do that all the time with my
That's
wife
so-
because she has an Apple. and
My
I-
wife.
My wife.
My-
I say, oh, you just hit Control Z to undo, and she like does it, and it doesn't work because it's Apple Z on your
Right,
damn
right.
Mac.
It's easy to remember Apple. Apple, like it's a fruit. Control, what could it be? It could be anything.
I want to control everything. That's why I have a love of the control
That's so
button.
pretentious that it says control though. But we also have an option button, which is our alt button.
Oh, okay. We don't
So
have an option
we don't
button.
call it alt. So like if you look, it's option whatever. You don't say alt. Hit
What
alt
happens
F,
when you hit the option
F.
button? Does a list of options come up like pimp and prize and leaderboard?
If you're on a menu, if you're on a drop down menu and you hit the option button, you get different like it changes. Like
Interesting.
your quit might turn into a forced quit. Well, that's it.
That's it for our timer. It just went up.
We gotta find like a buzzing.
We do need a
buzzer
buzzing sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ending the
We're
show.
gonna end the show in a minute, but first,
What have we learned
Yeah, we're gonna
today?
end every show with what have we learned. We'll start with our guest Jeff. What have we learned today? Just to give us a sentence.
What'd you learn
I
today,
learned
Jeff?
that Dan eat poop.
You did not learn such a thing.
Dan, what did you learn?
I learned that Jeff actually founded Netscape. I didn't know that, even though his last name is Jeffrey Netscape.
Well, Jeff took mine. I really wanted to reiterate that you ate poop, but I learned
Shouldn't have told that
that
No,
I learned
you
that Veronica Mars creator Rob Thomas doesn't want people to know how he goes to the bathroom.
That's true.
He's probably eating his poop, to be honest.
He's a weird guy for sure. If you have any 90s suggestions, you can suggest them on our website, which is somewhere.
It's on Netscape.
If you go to the show notes of this episode, it's in there. It doesn't
Work in
exist
progress,
at the
work in
moment.
progress. And give us your Twitter handle or however you want to be called, and we'll say who suggested what.
Absolutely. We should have a form to make it nice and easy.
Which
for
I
you,
didn't
so.
do with our initial list of 90s topics, which I just trolled my Facebook news
Yes.
feed for. So thanks, family and friends,
Yeah.
for fucking Matchbox 20 suggestion.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out when I
With
ask a
my
favor.
podcast. Thanks.
Yeah, worst.
But did that sound ungrateful?
It sounded
Did
a
that come
little
off a little ungrateful?
It sounded a little ungrateful.
All right. So thank you, Jeff, for being
Thanks,
here.
Jeff.
Thank you guys for listening and supporting our new podcast,
Yep.
hopefully.
Yeah. And we don't know how to end the show.
How did they say goodbye in the 90s? What was like the...
They said, there had to be like a cool way to say goodbye in the 90s.
Yeah, what would like Zach say? Like,
bitchin', bro.
That's bitchin', bro.
This episode of 90s Percentile was brought to you by our friends at jock.com. That's JOQ.com. Websites, apps, everything digital. That's where you want to go. Jock.com.